Howdy howdy, this is Craig Writing back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover round 1 results for the Ebony Maw and Punisher 2099 arenas, then jump into some round 2 predictions. So first, the round 1 results. So once the word got out that Ebony Maw is kind of a mad champ, so did his scores plummet. So as you can see, the round 1 results, despite the decent synergies with a handful of champions, including Call Obsidian, the first round 5-star feature cutoff for Ebony Maw dropped to 46 million, and the 4-star feature ended up at 10.3 million, which is probably the lowest we've seen for some time now for new champs in the 4-star feature arena. And then, as expected, Punisher 2099 came in the standard low interest 1.56 million. It's almost like clockwork, really, that one. It's either like 1.56, 1.57, right around that last milestone. And folks put it's really a hard. The true challenge is to try to finish the milestones, to get all the milestones rewards, but don't actually get the champ when we have this kind of 4-star basic champ. But anyway, those were the first round. Anyway, these are the approximate scores, because always keep in mind, Kabam never releases the actuals. These are all self-reported scores by the community. So anyway, now that we've seen round 1 results, let me compare these to my predictions. So I did think Ebony Maw, based off of, I am part of the content creators program, and I had some access to, an early access to Ebony Maw, got around to play with him a little bit, did see the synergy with Call, got to play with that. Despite all of that, and despite I did see the word out there from the community, a lot of people started releasing their videos, and nobody was really impressed about the damage output. So, I did drop those numbers lower, but I did think the synergies with Call Obsidian, just the synergies in general, would help pull them up a little bit, but not enough. I mean, this is definitely low numbers. Ronan went kind of in this actually lower, so shouldn't be too surprised. And actually, Nick Fury kind of was in that same range. So if Nick Fury can go for that, and he's a much better champ than Ebony Maw, in my opinion anyway, then I think we shouldn't be too surprised with those results. But anyway, I did have these numbers inflated a bit, so obviously these weren't the best predictions out of that 5 to 10% range. But when it comes to the 4-star basic arena with a champ like Punisher 2099, right within that 5 to 10% range, actually closer to 5%. So anyway, now that we've taken a look at round 1, let's jump into some trend analysis for round 2 predictions. So first, starting with the 5-star feature. For the most part, you can see between round 1 and round 2, there's typically a slight increase, except in the case of Human Torch, there was a slight decrease. And so it's either kind of on par or a slight increase, but then again, for Human Torch, it went down. Now, you don't see the Call Obsidian numbers up here, but Call actually took a jump. Even after landing in the 60 million range, he jumped all the way up to 70 million, and that just shows you when you have a really, really good champ like Call Obsidian, then the second round definitely will get that increase. Occasionally, like you can see here with Mr. Sinister, a lot of people saw that 60 million score and so, you know what, I'm not messing with it, and that a few people who just pushed it a little bit anyway still ended up getting it with 20 million. I think with Call here, we're definitely not going to see an increase, probably basically within the same ballpark, I'm kind of thinking. Now, with the 4-star feature, for the most part, there's always a decrease between round 1 and round 2. And in the case of Human Torch, there was a slight increase, but in all of these other recent examples, there was a small decrease. With the lackluster setup of Call, I don't really think we should expect to see anything different there. And with the 4-star basic, with these champs, because they're so low right across the milestone, it's hard for them not to go up slightly. They don't go up significantly, just a slight bump, and that's been pretty consistent for the last handful of champs that fall into that 4-star bucket, 4-star basic bucket. And then lastly, with the 3-star feature, Ebony Maw, you can see that for the most part, between round 1 and round 2, there's an increase for new champs. Or sorry, a decrease. Sorry, a decrease between round 1 and round 2, and there's no reason to think that's a very consistent trend. There's no reason to think that'll change in this case. So taking a look at these trends, here are my thoughts for the round 2 predictions for the veterans bracket. And the veterans bracket again means your account's been open for over 61 days. I think we're looking at 42 million for the 5-star feature Ebony. I think we're looking at 9 million for the 4-star feature Ebony Maw. I think it's going to be right around 1.7 million for Punisher 2099, and lastly for the 3-star feature Ebony Maw, I think we're looking at 1.2 million. So my predictions, as you saw before, sometimes they're off, sometimes they're higher, sometimes they're lower. This is not an exact science game. I try to get within 5 to 10%, But just in case I'm off on the lower side, I always like to give grind targets to really make sure you don't miss a champ that you're out there grinding against. So I think 45 million should be more than enough, right around that first round cutoff. If you get to that for the 5-star feature Ebony Maw, you should be fine. 11 million should guarantee the 4-star feature. Probably get by with 10 million, but just in case he's more of a similar number as round 1 to round 2, you want to make sure you go over that 10 million because that's kind of where he ended last time. So 11 million will make sure you lock him up for the 4-star feature. 1.8 will be fine for 20, maybe 1.85 should be fine for the Punisher 2099. And lastly, for the 3-star feature Ebony Maw, I think we're looking right around 1.3 million. And again, these grind targets as well as these predictions are for the veterans bracket. When it comes to the earlier bracket, based off of some input from folks who watch my videos, it sounds like the beginner bracket and intermediate bracket are kind of returning back to those lower numbers, away from those bumps that we saw a couple weeks ago. So, but again, these earlier these earlier brackets, I should say, just really there's a lot of volatility between one arena to the next, just because you got people moving in between, in and out, all of these different arenas. So these are very rough kind of ballpark numbers based off my own experience a couple months ago, plus the ongoing input that I get from the community from time to time in the videos, in the comments section of my video. So those who do take the time to report their beginner and intermediate brackets, I really do appreciate it. But anyway, for the beginner's bracket, meaning you got a new account all the way to 30 days, I think 3-star feature, you're looking at 245. 4-star basic Punisher 2099, you're looking at 500,000. And for the 4-star feature Ebony Maw, we're looking at 900,000. For the intermediate bracket, meaning your account's been open 31 to 60 days, for the 3-star feature Ebony Maw, you're looking at 525,000. 4-star basic, you're looking at 900,000. And lastly, for that 4-star Ebony Maw, you're looking at 950,000. So anyway, these were my thoughts for the round 2 of the Ebony Maw and Punisher 2099 arenas. Would love to hear your opinion. Throw it on down in the comments section and let me know how you think, especially if it's different than mine. Would love to discuss it. If you have any questions about these arenas or arena grinding in general, throw it down in the comment sections and I will try to get around and respond. Other than that, if you enjoyed this arena cutoff video or find it helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you click that thumbs up button. And if you like this and other videos down on the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, we'd really appreciate it if you did. Thanks a lot for stopping by and have a great day.